I don't like that y'all forcing this DDG and Halle court case on my bingo card this year because it wasn't on there. It just wasn't. That must be my free space. But since it's about domestic violence and I'm a voice for the voiceless, I'm just going to get into it. And I'm just going to let y'all know what I think about the things that I've seen, because I have not sat there and read the case myself. I'm going off of the videos that I've seen and the text messages that I've seen in videos, okay? From what I gather, DDG was a habitual cheater from what I gather. And from the bruises that were on Halle, he was abusive as well. But from what I gather from the text messages I saw, she's mentally unstable. But I wouldn't say that she's just crazy. You know, I wouldn't say that. This is why. Let me tell you why. I was in a physically, emotionally, financially abusive, physically, I'm going to say that multiple times because it was very physical. He would pull his pew out on me. He broke my jaw. He broke my ribs. He did all these things to me, right? He was cheating and all that. I did not know how to get away from him. There was a soul tie there, but also he was abusive. And he knew where all my family stayed, and he would tell me that all the time. If you leave, I know where everybody stay. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. He would say that all the time. So when I got in the fight, flight, freeze, or fawn, I would usually fawn or freeze. And I would just do or say whatever I needed to do or say to get him to calm down. He didn't like when I would cry. He didn't like when I would get sad. He liked when I talked stuff back to him or when I would go off on him. I didn't like doing that because that would cause a fight. But if I didn't do that, he would hit me for not fighting back. I'm not saying that's the way DDG was, but I'm just saying there are some master manipulators that you cannot ever win with them. If you fight back, they get mad. If you don't do anything, they get mad. If you cry, they get mad. Like, it's like no matter what you do, no matter which way the Uno card is flipped, they get mad. A lot of the things that she said, it sounds like what somebody would say when they are hurt. It sounds like what somebody would say when they are being cheated on, when they are being abused. Because I was being physically abused and I never hit that man back. But if you read them text messages, you would think I would fight him. You would think I would knock his block off. And I would never. I would never, because I knew that I couldn't fight him. So I was not there. And I also don't know if any of this is AI generated. I don't know none of that. So I'm not speaking on their specific situation. Their situation is causing me to think about mine. And I will say that when I got a relationship with God after I moved my kids out of town, I realized that I was the problem, right? Because if someone is physically assaulting you, sexually assaulting you, financially abusing you, mentally abusing you, like all these things, and you're not getting help, you're not calling the police, you're not telling family so they can step in and help, you're not doing any of that, even if you are scared to leave them, you're the problem because you're not finding help to leave them. You're not letting anybody know. You're not blowing the whistle. So you're giving them your power. You're taking your power and you're handing it to them and saying, here, take this. Do something with it. I have a book called Faith.Family.Freedom, the RosieXperience, and I really explain this more in depth. And it's crazy that so many celebrities are coming out saying that they've been through domestic violence, because I've been advocating against domestic violence since 2021. I published my book and everything, and I'm a public speaker, and I have a domestic violence conference coming up. But there was not very many people speaking about domestic violence back when I first started talking about it. I love that the conversation is open, but now that the conversation is open, accountability has to be had as well. Although I never abused him, although I was the one that was being targeted, I still had to take my accountability. I had children to protect, and I still was there. Even though I didn't want to be, I still was there. Also, I probably wouldn't have had my children if I would have recognized those red flags early and ran. So I accept all of my accountability. And guess who's taking care of all them kids? Because he in prison. Not even for what he did to me. After I left, he's been in and out of prison since. And that was 4 years ago. When we were together, he didn't go to jail not one time. Probably for like a couple hours. That's it. The whole 3.5 years we were together. But after I left him, he's been in and out of prison that whole 4 years. And I have an ex-husband before that boyfriend that I'm talking about. I had 3 kids with my ex-boyfriend, 1 kid with my ex-husband. My ex-husband has been in and out of jail and prison for the past 7 years. I left him 7 years ago. So both of them men were being protected by me. They were with me, abusing me, never going to jail because I wasn't calling the police on them. But as soon as I leave them, people calls the police. They're dealing with whatever they got to deal with for whatever they're doing to people. We hold people back from their accountability when we lie for them, when we don't tell the police what's happening as it happens. Now he's using that woman's mental health against her when his actions is the reason why she was saying the stuff that she was saying. You cannot tell me that being cheated on and possibly abused while you're pregnant is not a reason to flash out. You can't tell me that. If you're not mentally stable, or if you're not, I want to say more, if you're not emotionally stable, not mentally stable, because I don't think she's deranged. I think that her emotions were very high. She was very in that relationship, very much in it. She cared about him so much. And she has a support system. And she still crashed out. That shows you how much a relationship takes a toll on a woman and on a man. I'm not saying that she's perfect. I'm not saying that in any way. Nobody is perfect. What I am saying is, if you're a habitual cheater and if you're abusive, you expect me to not be affected at all? You expect me to be all the way here? You feel me? Maybe you don't. Somebody does. But my advice to both of them would be to not use Halo as a pawn. My children are not around their father because their fathers are crazy. My ex-husband and my ex-boyfriend, literally crazy. No accountability there. Nobody in their family holds them accountable for anything. They will continue to do it again and again and again and again because nobody holds them accountable. Everybody mad at me. And I didn't do nothing but escape. But they got all of social media split in half. They both got a support system online, and they both have families that will ride or die for them. They need therapy, and they need to go about this thinking about their son and not about getting back at each other for whatever they did to each other. All right, I'm going to exit the chat. But go to RosieXperience.com and get you a copy of my book. I promise it'll change your life.